Hi everybody, welcome again to another video, a bit different from usual. More than a tutorial, is actually a video on the last app released by AudioKit, Digitalism 2000. So I had the opportunity recently to talk to Matt and Jeff, and we had a dialogue regarding how good AudioKit is and what they are doing and how they are helping also schools and a huge number of users to getting up to speed really with learning development on iOS using the fantastic framework that AudioKit have created for all of us. As you know, it is open source and it's a fantastic framework that helps everybody to really build music applications. So it's really fantastic, and they are the only one really which have released completely the code open source, so that you can really reutilize what they have all contributed to. So they also offered a number of codes which you can participate as a giveaway. So as usual, just follow the instruction in the video description and also check if the competition is still open. In just checking the first comment or the oldest comment in the comment section. The video is this time is structured in a set of questions which I ask Matt and Jeff to respond to. And then at the end of the video, you find also a quick demonstration on how to use Digitalism, which is what you see currently on the screen. I created a quick bit using various applications in AUM. I hope you enjoyed, but for now, just let's listen to the interview with Matt and Jeff from AudioKit. Thank you very much. See you in the next video. Bye.
My name is Jeff. I'm one of the creators, along with Matt, of Digitalism 2000 and other AudioKit apps.
And hey, I'm Matthew Fetcher from AudioKit. I work with Jeff to make these limited edition apps. AudioKit is a free and open source project. There's about 100 different volunteers, and everyone contributes code and ideas. And we're trying to make it easy for emergent talent, for both musicians and emerging app developers, to create their first app. And we also are on a mission to provide low cost and free apps to musicians as well.
Digitalism 2000 is a lightweight, low-cost plug-in and standalone synthesizer app for iOS that we developed, sort of inspired by sounds from the early 2000s and those sort of virtual analog synths, other synths like that, maybe some lingering hints of FM.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note that we didn't actually sample 2000s era romplers, but we recreated that vibe and made something new. Like we took some virtual analog stuff and mixed it with some sound effects to create like a sound that makes it sound like it came from that. So you're hearing something that's familiar, but it's completely fresh and new. That's a really great question. The intersection of technology and music can be a catalyst for people to be inspired to learn the code. And so we've been very fortunate at AudioKit to help like an amazing amount of people from age like 66 to age, I think there was like a 7-year-old that made an app with AudioKit. And so we've been working with different outreaches, like everything from like the south side of Chicago to New York, to someone the other day talked about there's a school in London, or like a college that was actually teaching AudioKit. And here in Atlanta, we've been working Morehouse, a historically Black college here in Atlanta, and also Georgia Tech as part of their outreach. So through that, there's like all kinds of things where it reaches like high schools and college age, in addition to just like kids who approach us and want to make an app, and people like Ari, our founder, like works with them and helps them. And like there's so many kids that have gone to a scholarship on WWDC just from a synthesizer app that they've made, and they otherwise would have never made an app. But thanks to AudioKit, they got the experience, that joy. And sometimes that all it takes is just like one win, and then they encourage to make more and more things.
Yeah. So one example of how we're working with schools is we've worked with Morehouse College to not only release a professional app, which is the Morehouse Mark One, but we've also taken that code and made it open source, and so it's available not only to the students who helped us develop that app, but also to anyone that wants to develop an app similar to that. Now they have a pretty big jumping off point where they don't have to go through, the trouble of figuring out how all the inner workings work. We've done that. We provide that for them. And so the idea is that anybody can now take that code and iterate on it and make their own thing. And we worked very closely with Morehouse College to make that happen.
It's really exciting because we didn't really hold anything back. That's the full source code. And we do have like high school teachers contact us, and even just like kids, and they want an example, and we're able to now point them to something where they can build a full-featured plugin and sell it in the App Store, or just change the graphics and make it their own. And they don't have to give anything back to us. We're just kind of paying it forward. So it's really fulfilling.
One of the best ways you can support our work is to, buy one of the AudioKit apps. That goes directly into funding the project itself, paying for the servers and the email list and all that infrastructure and everything like that. Another, really good way to help AudioKit is if you have any, I'm not even going to say skill in coding, but desire to learn a skill in coding, anybody is free to contribute back to the project. So if there's something you want it to do that it doesn't do, or you think it can do better, you're free to improve that on your own time, on your own terms. And that's just a really good way to help build the library and get more input too.
Yeah, Jeff is, hit it on the head. Like, anyone can contribute. Anyone can make AudioKit better. I started off just like converting like simple like 10-line examples for AudioKit, and it's taken me all the way to where we are now, where we've made this app that, 1 million people get to make music with for free, and AudioKit Synth 1. So yeah, once you do stuff at that scale, it does require some money to keep that stuff going. So it does help, and we are putting it back. Like, we're working on a cross-platform version of Synth 1, and we're working on bringing things like Housemarque 1 to Apple Silicon and other apps. So everything we get, we put back into making things better for both coders and musicians.
The first thing I would recommend is download one of the free apps like Synth One, and maybe get an idea for what you can do with AudioKit, or visit our blog and you can see some other apps that have been made with AudioKit, again, to get some ideas of what you can do with it. The next step is to download Xcode, which is a bigger step than you might think to get that. That's going to take you a few hours to download and to get up and running.
But it is free to download.
It's free, and that's Apple's code IDE, they call it. Then download AudioKit from the. There's many ways to do it, but you could visit the GitHub page and it tells you different ways to install it and get it up and running. That's really the first step. You could probably try the cookbook in AudioKit is a good first step, because it shows you in very modular pieces.
Little bite-sized projects to get you started. So you don't have to, Synth 1 is super complicated, but there's this little cookbook where it's just various recipes, if you will, for code. And that's a really great place to start, as Jeff said.
You don't really need any hardware beyond an iOS or even Mac OS device. Almost any device, current-ish modern device will work. You do need an iOS device right now. It's not on Android. It's not on any other platform, but there's a wide range. You can get a used iPad off Craigslist and you should be good to go.
Yeah, so it's really important to have like a test device. You will need a laptop to like
Oh
get
yeah, yeah.
code. But as far as like doing stuff, you want a physical device because even though there's like free simulators you can use to simulate an iPad, you just really don't know how something's going to react when, especially when it comes to audio, which is very difficult to program. Oh, that's a really good question. So we're working with some very cool bloggers and YouTubers on some new apps. And, we're working on fixing our old apps. And we're also working on making Sense One cross-platform for Windows, Mac, iOS.
I think what's next is just more and better apps, improving the apps that we already have out and expanding to other platforms, because iOS and Mac OS is unique in its sort of location in the industry. It's very prevalent, but that's also kind of becoming less and less of an issue. So it's maybe it would be exciting to get to other platforms, and we're definitely, I know I'm writing all my code to prepare for that.
I would say like take it in chunks. Try to build something small at first because it can be very overwhelming. But programming at the end of the day is hard. We try to make it easier, but there is a lot to learn. So, instead of building like a synth with 100 features, maybe try a simple synth with a few features and just try to build and get something done. And that'll give you the confidence to try to tackle something else.
Go through the cookbook, and see what is possible. And then if you are ready to make an app, get one solid idea that you can strive for and attain, and just do that one piece at a time. Like Matt was saying, you don't want your first project to be overwhelming. Pick something that you can see the result of, and strive for that.
Mine is, be good to each other. I hope you're able to find some creativity and there's a lot of other great apps besides ours. Support indie developers. We could all use support during this time, and a lot of people making really great apps. And we thank you for your time, and we hope AudioKit helps make some cool music or apps.
Yeah, so final words is, there's no secret society keeping anybody out from doing any of the things that you enjoy from your iPad or in music in general. There's only like your drive and how much you can put into it. And hopefully AudioKit and some of these example apps are like a doorway for you to see, like, hey, I'm actually just like all these people that make this stuff that I love. And so you can make that stuff too.
Yeah, big thanks to Sound for More and Leo for having us. It's been an honor. See you, everyone.